Boker Tov and welcome. Today we're going to talk about managing the expenses of homeschooling. It's not free after all, and none of us are made of money. My name is Ann Elliott, and I'm the creator and founder of homeschoolingtorah.com. You know, there are just a couple things that I've thought of that can really reduce the price of homeschooling if you're having to do it on a very low budget. Number one, and this may not be the first one you thought of, and they might not be in any particular order, but number one, get a really good quality printer. And the one that I would recommend is to move up from the inkjet printers and go to a laser printer. I know it's a big investment, maybe a couple $100 online, from Amazon, or that's the one I would go to, and get a good quality printer. And then you don't have to buy the toner cartridges from the most expensive source. For instance, my toner printer, I can get big things of toner. They last me several reams of paper each, and they're $8 a piece. So I can get a box of 4 toner cartridges and a huge box of maybe 10 reams of paper, and that lasts me a really long time. Lots of printing, and I don't have to worry about that. So yes, it's a big upfront cost, but it will pay for itself over and over again. And usually they come with scanners and all kinds of things that can really reduce your expenses. Number 2, get organized. A lot of people, when they are trying to homeschool on the cheap, will go and get all kinds of free resources online, from videos to classes to downloads, lots of free PDFs. You can find them from so many different bloggers and companies. But if you do not organize those on your computer, if you just kind of download them randomly, you're never going to find them again, and you have wasted your time. And time is money, just letting you know. Even when you're poor, time is money. So get organized. Take a day. If you have to, go sit somewhere else away from home with some coffee and organize the files on your computer. Put them under, all the different subjects. You can look for ideas at the top of homeschoolingtorah.com. If you go across the top, you've got Bible, history, science, math, language arts, electives, preschool, all of these different things, maybe even household management things, which do make a difference in you homeschooling cheaply. Get organized, make it a priority. Number 3, use the library. The library is free. Everyone, pretty much everywhere, has great libraries available to them. Now, I don't love taking my kids to the library all the time. We do sometimes, but I've found that the library is full of a lot of things that I don't necessarily want to teach to my children. And so what I do is I use the online resources. Oh my goodness, our local Little Michigan library has so many online resources that it just blows your mind. You could teach entire classes for free from those resources. And I can do the surfing, in the evenings or on the weekends, and your kids don't have to spend all their time at the library. However, having said that, the library does have some really great classes, and just be on the lookout, okay? 4th, make a plan. Once you know what is available to you, and be intentional, stick to your plan. As I've said at other times, make long-range goals, make annual goals, make quarterly goals, make weekly goals. In other words, every week, this is important. You need to sit down with a cup of coffee, no kids in sight if possible, and you need to think about what you are supposed to be doing that week. Do this before Monday morning so that you can take wise advantage of the resources that you have. Sit down for a half an hour to an hour with coffee and your breakfast. I do it on Sunday morning. Figure out what you're going to do that week. You will find that you are so much more effective with the resources you already have or that you found for a very low cost or free. And you'll actually use them, and the Father will bring more things to you just like that. So you have some homework. I want you to set a time in this next week where you can make some of those intentional long-range plans, organize yourself, and find out what local resources you have available. Set that time on your calendar and stick to it. Secondly, visit us at homeschoolingtorah.com. We're one of the most affordable homeschooling companies on the market at a very low monthly price, even cheaper if you can do annually. We can help you. Shalom.